Okay, hey guys, Sheen again with.
Johnny.
We're gonna talk about assault rifles, AR-15s, M16s, etc. It's always on the media, always on the news. There's a shooting today actually, and so there's I think a misconception about what exactly is a AR-15, what exactly is a assault rifle.
Before we start, I want to say I don't know anything about guns. I never owned a gun. I don't come from a gun family or gun culture. You own a couple of guns, right?
Yeah, I own a couple of guns. I don't own a quote unquote assault rifle or AR-15 type of firearm.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But we just like to talk about it because this is a topic that's hot right now. So.
Yep.
So what do you think about in general? What do you think about AR-15?
AR-15 is now it is just a design, and it's a design that was patented by Colt, and their design patent ran out. So basically, anybody could make an AR-15 type weapon. Any company can make it. It's just the look and the design of that weapon, and so
it was designed for military, right? Specifically, or was it just
So there's a military version, and that's called the M16, and so this is back during I believe Vietnam War era. Well, I mean, just in general, any military weapon is going to be designed to be used by the masses. Many people, anybody could use it. They're easy to use. They're easy to clean. They're easy to maintain. You don't want a difficult weapon to disassemble when you're in the battlefield, right? You want something that's reliable, easy to use, and it could accomplish its goals. So that's why the M16 was researched and developed, and it was meant to be used by anybody. Anybody can be used. Anybody can use it. It's modifiable. You could change the stock because everyone's different sizes. So it's highly modifiable, and it's become super popular. It's the weapon that every soldier is issued. I think it's getting replaced now though, but for the longest time, I think it's like 40 years, that was the standard issue weapon, the M16.
Yeah. So a lot of this mass shooting that happen, are they usually by AR-15? Is that?
So what I've researched is, I mean, if you're just talking about mass shootings and firearms, it's most mass shootings happen with a handgun, not a rifle.
They're a lot more expensive. I imagine not too many people can afford AR-15 versus a handgun.
No. You could buy AR-15 for $500. I mean,
oh, really? That's cheap? Wow. Okay.
Same thing. A handgun. Handgun could run from $400 to $500. AR-15 the same, and so it's not that it's more expensive.
Huh. Okay. So why do you think the media specifically were talking about at one point just banning AR-15? Like, why pick on AR-15?
Well, it turns out that most shootings that do involve a rifle, they are these quote unquote assault rifles, and the whole issue with the pro gun people is, you're giving a definition that is there's no definition out there for what an assault rifle is. And I mean, that's kind of a term that was kind of made up by the media about what is an assault rifle.
See, what I understood to be assault rifle is something you can kill a lot of people in a really short amount of time. Something that rapidly fires. Is that what it is?
So, I mean, so that would be a machine gun, right? And so a machine gun, you hold down the trigger and it just keeps on firing until you let go of the trigger.
Yeah.
And AR-15, it's one pull of the trigger, one bullet comes out. One pull of the trigger, one bullet comes out. Just like every other semi-automatic handgun, rifle, they're all the same. One pull of the trigger, one bullet comes out.
Yeah.
So the notion that it's designed to kill so many people so fast is just not true. I mean, you could kill the same amount of people with a handgun. It's one pull of the trigger.
Yeah.
It's just how fast you could pull that trigger is basically your limiting factor.
Yeah.
So I mean, I mean, the thing is like, why is this so popular? And it's kind of like if you equate it to, cars, like why is the Toyota Corolla, Toyota Camry, Honda?
Basically, you're saying they're a really, really good gun.
I mean,
really
they're
simple.
reliable. I mean,
Yeah.
no one's gonna say, the Honda Accord is an awesome car. It's a good car. It's reliable, but it's not like, it's not a high end car. It's not a Mercedes. It's not like, a luxury car. It's not, it's just easy. Honda is easy to maintain.
Yeah.
Easy to do the oil changes, anything like that. And if you needed parts, if they're easy to find, anybody could work on it. So same thing with an AR-15. It's just a very common firearm.
Yeah.
It's it's easily modifiable. So that's why it's so popular. And with the military, the military version of, the civilian version of that weapon is going to be popular.
So what do we pick this topic? We picked this topic to discuss, should we just specifically ban AR-15?
I mean, so in 1994, Clinton signed a quote unquote assault weapon ban, and so it was in effect for 10 years.
Yeah.
Up until 2004, and it wasn't renewed in 2004. So it was kind of a trial, and so it's debatable whether the assault weapons ban in 1994 had a positive or negative effect.
Did you ever Google like what the mass shooting was between
so
before the ban and after the ban? Like, did they really?
So what I saw is like during the ban, so those 10 years, there was not much difference in mass shootings during the ban.
Yeah.
And then after the ban, what I saw is there has been an increase after the ban, but to attribute it to, it could be attributed to multiple things.
Yeah.
Not just one.
Yeah, not because of the law. It just could be, and that happened to be the case.
Just change in society is that, some politicians are saying, oh, we need to get these weapons of war out of the civilian.
They're saying it. There's a good reason they're saying it, right? They're saying it because they seeing all this mass shooting happen. You see all these kids are dying. You're seeing, so they have to respond some way, right? They have to come up with some solution. They can't be like, oh, you know what, it's too bad, it's happening. So they have to come up with some type of solution. And I think it's easy to kind of just say, hey, like, obviously all these mass shootings are happening because of all this weapon that that can fire a lot of bullets in a short period of time.
Right, but
yeah,
that's what the media is pushing. Is like, we need to get these weapons off the streets. But the fact is an AR-15 doesn't fire any faster than any other semi-automatic pistol.
So your whole thing is it shouldn't be just picking on one specific weapon and then just blaming on the whole thing. Like, just banning AR-15 is not gonna solve all mass shooting problems.
So the thing is, the media says, oh, the AR-15 is a weapon of war, it's designed to be on the battlefield, and that's not true. The weapon that's designed to be on the battlefield is the M16.
Yeah.
And the M16 is the counterpart that fires the same caliber, the same bullet. So the AR-15 fires the same bullet as the M16. It fires a
well, a lot of people in the media, just like me, are not expert at guns, right? So
right.
They're making this stuff
and that's why you're led to believe something that's not true.
Yeah.
So the AR-15 fires a .223 caliber projectile, and that projectile, it doesn't matter what the gun is. The gun could look anyway. It could be pink with feathers on it.
Yeah.
What matters is what kind of projectile it fires, right?
Yeah.
The bullet is the thing that kills you.
Yeah.
So, it fires a .223 caliber projectile.
Yeah.
And that projectile is not by any means a powerful bullet. It's probably low to intermediate power. So you would use it to hunt squirrels, small game. You wouldn't be using it to kill or grizzly bears or anything like that. And so the whole idea of it was that in the battlefield you don't want to fire, big caliber weapons because you have a lot of kickback.
Yeah.
And so anybody that fires a weapon, you don't want this firearm to kick back because you want to control it. You want it to aim and kill your target. So you don't want a weapon that can fire a huge round, a powerful round, because you have too much kickback. So M16 and AR-15, they fire a low to intermediate round, and that's why people like it. It doesn't kick as much.
Yeah.
It's easier to control, and that's one of the reasons why it's so popular.
They're not gonna know the technicality of all guns. The reason they're saying all this stuff is because they just want to stop something that's horrible, that's happening, and they don't see a solution to it.
Right, and that's the thing is like lawmakers, that they should educate themselves about what they're saying, because if you're saying things like, "Oh, the AR-15 is a weapon of war," no, it's not. The AR-15,
they lose credibility.
They lose credibility, and the other side is going to be like, "Well, you don't even know what you're talking about, so we can't even have a debate." If you're not willing to educate yourself on what you're saying, then how can I even have a discussion?
Well,
with
that brings up a huge topic. I mean, it's that's true for a lot of things. Look at their emotional base, and they just see something horrible happen, they wanted to stop it.
Right. I mean, their cause is good.
Yeah.
But they're doing more harm than good by making these comments and trying to institute these bans that
they shouldn't be so specific. That's what you're saying, right? I think it comes up to the topic like it's a
Well, see what I mean. If you let's say you ban the AR-15 by its name. Okay, so this design of this weapon.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're going to shoot up some school, you're not going to be like, "Oh, well, there's a ban, I guess I'm not going to use this weapon," right? You're going to do it because you're going to do it because it's available.
Yeah.
So that's not going to do anything, right? So let's say we get all the AR-15s off the street. Okay, well, we'll just use a more powerful weapon then.
The quality of it, I shouldn't technically ban one type of weapon, and people, especially that are enthusiastic about gun, they know a lot of things about gun. They know having those specific, is stupid.
Right.
So the whole thing is to stop mass shooting, right? That's the whole reason behind all that conversation to begin with. So what's the solution then? I mean,
there's no perfect solution, right? And any solution put out, it just takes a generation, or it takes a certain amount of time before you see those numbers change.
Yeah.
But I mean, as far as what can be done, well, number one, I think politicians, or everybody in general, and that's kind of why we're talking about this, is educate yourself. Don't just say, "Oh, well, so-and-so said this is a weapon of war," and I agree, weapon of war. But is it really a weapon of war? What makes it different than having a handgun? Why is it different? And so if you take a look at these guns, so take a look at this gun right here. So this gun, if you're not educated, oh, well, that looks like a weapon of war. It looks aggressive. It's colored, and it looks like a quote unquote assault rifle, but it shoots a 22 caliber. And for people that don't know, a 22 caliber is, the smallest little caliber bullet that there is, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a little more powerful than like an air rifle or a BB gun. I mean, it definitely kill you, but
well, that's the question comes down to. Can you take this gun and kill a lot of people in a short amount of time? And police gonna take some time to get over here, right?
Well,
it's
there's nothing about this gun that will kill faster than a handgun. I mean, just because it's longer, and just because it has adjustable shoulder.
So that's the question. So maybe this is not the same category as what the politicians are in general thinking about.
So, the media and people generally say, "Oh, well, this looks like an assault rifle. We need to ban this one."
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, the thing is, this one, another one. So it's basically the same gun as the one that we just saw, right? It shoots a 22 caliber, and this one's just all black. And if you didn't know, you would say, "Oh, well, that looks like an assault rifle to me, right?
Yeah.
It looks aggressive, it looks mean, it
very
looks
aggressive
bad.
to me.
But this is less aggressive than a 9mm, handgun. It's just because it looks like a aggressive weapon. People say, oh, we should get rid of it. But look at this one. So this is a called the Mini 14. So this weapon shoots the exact same caliber as the M16. The exact same bullet is essentially the exact same gun. It's just a different design. But as far as firepower, it is the exact same weapon as a M16.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, AR-15. And that weapon is the exact same weapon as this. This is the exact same weapon. Just this one is black and this one is brown. If I was to show a non-gun person, they would most likely say, "Oh, well, this is a hunting rifle. This is perfectly fine. People use this for hunt."
I would say,
and then this is a weapon of war. We need it. Why? Because it's black. This one's brown and has wood, and this one is a polymer and it's black. And people that don't know, and people that are trying to pass laws, they are the same way. They're this one is a brown hunting rifle, and this one is a black murder weapon. Yeah. And when in actuality, this weapon right here shoots a 22 caliber, the same fire bullet as this one, a 22 caliber. They're essentially the same gun. They shoot the same projectile. Yeah. So if you're going to ban this one, you might as well just ban this one. Yeah. If you're going to ban this one, you might as well just ban all guns. Yeah. And so if we're going to go down that road,
well, obviously they need some expert, right? So people that are not expert, they need to hire some expert and be more educated and before passing a law. Yeah, I think in the end it comes down to like, how much do you ban? What's the limit?
Right. So what's the answer, right? Yeah. I've seen some proposals that we should raise the age of, that you can buy a gun.
What's that gonna do?
So the argument is that most school shootings occur by the students that go there.
But a lot of times they don't even own that gun. They're getting it from their parents or something.
Right. Well, yeah. So
age at that case is not gonna.
Yeah. So exactly. There's no answer that's gonna prevent every single shooting. Yeah. Right. So there are mass shootings that the person did purchase that gun. Yeah. And so you're not like, there's not going to be one solution that's going to fix all problems. So we have to target things that we can manage and can fix, and it'll be a generational thing that.
So I feel like the technology can definitely help with that. If each gun is designed for the person that can only shoot it. Yeah, so that'd be a good.
There's research into that, but it's been not very favorable. All right, sorry guys, our camera battery ran out. We just had to get a new camera up here. Johnny had to hit the road. But I'm just going to finish up this video real quick. So I left off with saying, so one of the things that was proposed and can be debated is, what do we do that makes sense? I mean, because there's mass shootings. What do we do? I don't think banning any specific weapon is a good idea. I mean, if you ban something, history just shows that it makes whatever that thing is more valuable, and you just create a black market for that item. So if you ban a AR-15, you're just gonna create, number one, a black market for that specific handgun, or that specific firearm rather. And if you ban high capacity magazines, for instance, you're just gonna create a market for people, a black market for people to create, high capacity magazines, and they're, from what I researched, not that difficult to make, manufacture. Like I said earlier, there's not going to be one solution that's going to fix every single mass shooting, but things of this complexity, you have to take it one piece at a time. And so what would make sense is increasing the age that you're legally allowed to purchase a firearm to 21. And yes, I know Johnny had mentioned that A lot of these school shooters, they get the weapon. They don't buy the weapon. They get it from an unlocked their parents' gun safe or from a friend or something. And that's always going to happen, right? And how are you going to stop that? You could put harsher fines on the parents, sure, but we're the first goal isn't to completely wipe out mass shootings, right? You have to take it one step at a time. So what will you do if you raise the age to 21? Well, most school shootings happen by the students that are there at the time. So by the time you're 21, you're no longer at that school. So yes, you're the people that get their firearms from their parents' closet. It's still going to happen, yes, but there are a number of instances where there are mass shootings that people purchase the firearms. And if it's in a case of a school shooting, if you're 21, you're out of school already. So, and people argue, well, that'll just maybe become a mass workplace shooting, and that's absolutely true. It instead of being a school shooting, this person now is 21, maybe has a job, maybe doesn't, and still wants to do a mass shooting, and it'll be a workplace shooting. But hopefully between 18 and 21 they have grown up some and maybe got some help or something, and it's just trying to be optimistic, and maybe it's a little too optimistic, but in 3 years things could change. And I mean, if it just stops one or two mass shootings a year, or one or two mass shootings period, it's worth looking into. I'm not saying that it's absolutely what we should do or what needs to be done, but it's a proposal. Well, and I guess the argument against that is, well, I'm 18, I could go to war, I could have a firearm, go to war and kill people at war, but I can't come home and have a firearm at 18 or 19 or 20. And I would say maybe people that think that way are don't have their priorities straight, because I mean, we should be focusing on why are we sending 18-year-olds and 19-year-olds to war. We should be focusing on not sending our children to war, and instead of focusing on whether they can have a firearm at home or not. The other thing is, in today's society, the gun, the firearm, has been made into a symbol. It's a symbol of like masculinity, and it's cool. It's been made into part of the fabric of our culture, and it's not what it was originally designed for. A gun is just a tool. It's a tool, just like a drill is a tool, just like a saw is a tool. But popular culture has made the gun into a symbol of masculinity, a symbol of power. And if you have a gun, people feel like, I have a gun, I have power. And so just think about it. Just it's been made into that by movies, by video games, by culture. People want to replicate what they see in movies. See all the power they have by having a gun. And when you hold a gun, you realize you have that power. You have the power to take somebody's life. That is an incredible power. So I think a combination of trying to change that mindset of what is a gun and why do you have it. It's not to make you look cool. If we could get to a point where our society has changed to realize what a firearm is for, and to use it appropriately, I think we'll see a decrease in mass shootings, because really, mass shooters, school shooters, they want power. They feel like they have power by having the firearm, and it's probably a power that they've never felt before, in their life. And it shouldn't. They shouldn't have to have this firearm to feel that power. And there's something wrong there. So that's my thoughts. Think about it.